Hi everyone, my name is John Cottrell and this is Power Hour, and that just means it's a 60-minute Power Vinyasa Yoga class. And so for this practice, we're going to focus on, I'm calling it balancing and hamstring flow. Balancing and hamstring flow. So we'll be combining balancing postures with some good hamstring stretches and combining them together. So if you're just joining us, hello, welcome, glad you're here, glad you can join us. And this is our 60-minute yoga practice. Let me tell you about some of the props that we will be using for our practice today. So if you have one, grab a yoga strap. Okay, and that could be a belt of any sort, even a necktie, but just some strap, because we'll be needing that for some of our posture today. And also a couple of yoga blocks. And if you don't have a couple of yoga blocks, something that brings the floor a little bit closer to you, something that you can stack. That could be like a stack of books, or even like a bucket, or something like that, or even a chair out in front of you, okay? So that's what we'll need. So we'll just put those to the side. So we've got our props, our blocks over there, and our strap that we'll be using later. And let's go ahead and begin our practice together. We're going to start in mountain pose. So just join me when you're ready, and just come to a nice tall standing position with your feet about hip distance apart. Toes pointing forward. And just have your arms down by your side with your palms facing forward. And that creates a nice natural rotation of the shoulders back to open up through the chest so we have nice posturing. So let's just begin here, and you're welcome to close your eyes or just soften your eyes. And just tune into your breath. Just taking slow, deep breaths here. Slow and steady. Just bringing yourself to this moment. Feeling fully connected and aware. Listening to the sound of your breath. Feeling your breath as it moves through you. And just give a little bit more energy to the breath as you're able. And all you really need to do is just breathe a little slower. So a nice long inhale, and as you breathe in, just feel yourself stand up a little taller, a nice lengthening in your spine with that nice expansion in the lungs. And as you exhale, just draw your navel inward toward your spine. We're creating the abdominal lock. And what we're creating here is that sensation of breath rising, keeping that uplifting sensation of the breath so it doesn't fall back down when we exhale. We want to keep it lifted, so we create the lock. And that's with the abdominal system. So we engage the abdominal muscles. So again, as we inhale, just feel the lifting and lengthening of your spine, breath rising to expand and fill up your lungs. Keep that uplifting sensation. As you exhale, connect. Feel the light contraction of your abdominal muscles, creating your abdominal lock. Very nice. Let's take 3 more breaths like this, and we'll prepare our bodies to move. Whenever you're ready, and inhale to extend your arms into the air. Nice stretch, reach high. And exhale, fold forward. So a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to as you make your way down towards your toes. Then inhale, slide your hands up to your knees or thighs and extend your spine, a long flat back like you're a table. Then exhale back down to a forward fold. Let's hold here, and this is our first hamstring practice right here. So an awareness of the backs of your legs, maybe a lengthening or a stretch quality down through the backs of your legs. Even with a slight bend in your knees. You might even lean forward a tiny bit toward your toes. And if you feel like you might tip over, just grip your mat with your toes, or just bring your fingertips to the ground, or bring in that block or stack of blocks, or even a chair seat so that you can just hold yourself up. A few more breaths, and if you just hang heavily forward here, we're creating that ragdoll feeling. Nice lengthening down through the whole back body, and release of your head, neck, and shoulders. Let's do another halfway lift. You're going to inhale, slide your hands up to your knees or thighs. As you exhale, just hold here. So we're in a half forward fold. Again, a slight bend in the knees.
Our upper body is like a table, long and flat and parallel to the ground. And just by holding here, you have to engage. You're engaging your center. You might even feel your hamstrings activate just to hold this posture. Now go ahead and lean back into your heels, bend your knees like you're about to sit down, and even look forward. Take your arms out to the side, then stand up and reach all the way up into the air. Nice big stretch. Exhale, bring your hands together and down to your heart. Hold here, returning to this mountain pose. Take a breath or two. Let's go through that half salute one more time. We'll just make it flow this time. Whenever you're ready to move, inhale, let's sweep the arms into the air. Another nice stretch here at the top. Exhale, let's swan dive forward, a good hinge from hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to, maybe touch the ground. Inhale, slide your hands up to your knees or thighs, extending your spine so the top of your head leads you forward. Exhale, we'll fold, coming back down. Lean back into your heels, bend your knees, let your hips drop a bit, look forward. Then inhale, take the arms out, rise up, reach into the air, and exhale, hands back down to your heart space. Very nice. Hold here as you return to breath, those long, deep breaths. Again, that nice inhale to fill up your lungs. Hold that uplifting sensation. Exhale, draw navel to spine, that light contraction of your abdominal muscles. One more breath in and out. And we'll just add on to our flow, our full sun salute. Here we go. Inhale, reach into the air. Big stretch for the lengthening through the sides of your body. Exhale, swan dive. Always okay to bend your knees as you make your way down toward your toes. Inhale, rise up halfway. Now on this exhale, bend your knees enough and place your palms on your mat as you walk or step both of your feet back into plank pose. Let's pause here, breathing in for more length in the body. As you exhale, bend your knees a bit, send your hips into the air. I call this a shortcut to downward facing dog, right here. You might make some adjustments with your feet. I like to tiptoe forward a little bit, maybe even adjust your hands. I take mine a little sensation in my shoulders and arms, back body as it lengthens. Breathing in and out. Good. Let's go ahead and inhale and extend right leg up behind, reaching back and hold here. Good long straight line. As you're reaching back through the toes, the hands are still pressing firmly into the ground. Inhale. Let's exhale and bring right foot to the top of the mat. Once we've landed up here, turn left heel to the floor behind you, shifting your weight back until there's more weight in that back foot, but less weight in the hands. We'll inhale and rise up nice and tall, reaching upward. Then exhale, slowly fold so you can bring your hands back down to the mat. We'll step back into our plank pose, hold. Feel that full length in the body, and with a slight bend in your knees, send your hips into the air. This is our return to downward facing dog. We're just taking these shortcuts for now. Again, make some adjustments with your feet and hands. Now as you hold the posture, you might even bend your knees a little. That will allow the hips to lift a little higher. And again, be sure your hands are pressing strongly into the ground, strong arms and shoulders and upper back. Let's inhale to extend left leg up into the air. We're going to hold as we exhale and just keep reaching long, extended body. Hands pressing into the ground, left foot reaching through the toes. Inhale here. Exhale, let's bring left foot now up to the top of the mat. Right heel turns to the floor, shifting the weight back into that foot. Firmly connect to the ground with that back foot so the hands become light. Inhale, let's rise up nice and tall, warrior one. And our exhale, carefully fold again, bringing the hands back down to the ground. Let's step back into plank pose. Let's go ahead and finish the push-up here. Coming down, Chaturanga Dandasana, come all the way down to your belly. Roll the shoulders back and just barely lift the chest. Look forward for a low cobra pose. As you exhale, push back to hands and knees, tuck the toes, then lift the knees and hips into the air, our return to downward facing dog. Hold for a moment. Now let's go ahead and bring the knees to the ground. We'll sit back briefly here and go ahead and take a seat. Swing the legs around to the front here. Sit in the center of your mat. We're going to lie down. We're going to move into bridge pose. So a nice opening through the whole front side of the body. So the knees are bent, feet flat on the ground. Arms just down by your side. Let's inhale, fill up the lungs. Exhale, empty the belly, same core engagement, then press feet into the ground, lifting hips up into the air. Right here. Now you can stay just like this. You can even use your hands to help lift yourself up, or if your blocks are handy, slide your blocks underneath you to sit on. Or use your arms, bend your elbows, and just press into the ground. Let's see if we can even activate the upper body a little bit. You might rock your upper body left and right slightly to get your shoulders underneath you, squeezing the shoulder blades together, engaging your upper back, which really actually expands and opens the chest as you keep pressing it into the floor with the feet. The thighs engage, the hips lift a little higher. You can feel the hip flexors engage, low belly, nice open heart. The backs of your backs of your arms pressing into the ground, lifting up through the chest a little bit more. 2 more breaths, very strong in the body. To come out, let's keep the hips in the air, but wiggle your toes forward, extend your arms straight up into the air, and then carefully roll your way back down to the ground. Now, from here, you're going to inhale, bring knees to chest. And then exhale, carefully rock your way up to seated. We're going to come to boat pose here. So let's start like this. Knees bent, heels on the ground, feet flexed. Hold on to the backs of the knees here so we can really lift ourselves up, just like that, so you can ensure your spine is straight and strong. That's an inhale, of course. Then the exhale, we pull belly in to engage. Keep this length, keep this energy in the body, but then begin to lean back, just like this. Tip the chin up slightly so the neck is open and long. Now, if you can certainly stay just like this for your pose, or if you want to lean back a little bit more, start guiding your heels towards yourself. You'll still lean back because weight's going that way, but then the feet will float right up into the air. That's just a nice, kind of gentle, graceful way, perhaps, to move into your boat pose. Let's hold here for a moment. Breathing in to continue a good length of spine. Exhale, draw belly in. Connecting to center, very strong. Let's move on this next breath. Let's inhale. Exhale, cross legs. And if you can, roll forward, catching the mat with your hands in front. We'll step back into plank pose. Let's go ahead and finish. We'll come down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Let's do one more low cobra right here. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Then exhale, walk, step, or even hop, both feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, rising halfway, nicely extended spine. Exhale, we'll fold. Shifting the weight into your heels, bend your knees. We'll inhale. Come all the way back up to standing. Reach high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Just a quick breather here. Just going to continue our flow. Adding on. Here we go. Inhale, sweep the arms into the air. Exhale, let's take chair pose this time. Feel the weight shift back into your hips and heels as you sit back. So a little balance work in this seated position. Let's breathe in. Then exhale, dive out of your seat back down towards your toes. Here we go. Forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Long extended spine. Exhale, bending your knees, hands to the mat. Walk or step back into plank pose. We'll immediately come down, Chaturanga Dandasana. You can do low cobra again, or inhale to upward facing dog, right here. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Settle into your space. Let's continue the flow. We're going to inhale, extend right leg up, reaching back. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel will turn to the floor, shifting weight back. Rising up, here's our Warrior 1. We're going to exhale to Warrior 2. That's it, right there. Now make some adjustments with your feet. You might shift or move the feet outward towards the edges of your mat just to take a deeper lunge. Make sure your right knee is bent, it's lunging, and the knee is pointing directly forward, just as your toes are forward. A nice reaching sensation out through the arms. Now we also want to make sure the left foot, at least the outside edge of the left foot, is pressing firmly into the floor so you feel the outer leg here energize. Let's take side angle, reaching out over the right leg. Let's rotate the arms. Right arm comes down, left arm reaching up. And as you can see, I like to stay up high in this pose, so my arm is just braced on the inner thigh right here. You can certainly go lower, maybe a wider stance, but lower, so you can bring your hand all the way down to the ground, or that stack of blocks. Let's breathe in. Exhale, we'll turn, so you can bring the hands back down to the mat. We'll step back into our plank pose, complete your series. You can always do that shortcut here too. Go right into down dog. You can skip these parts if you want to. Downward facing, adjusting. And then let's flow the other side. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel to the ground, shifting the weight back. Let's inhale, rise. And exhale, open to warrior two. Same thing. Let's make our adjustments, at least I am. I'm going to go a little wider with the feet. Nice deep lunge. I want to get a good stretch in my inner thighs here. Arms extending out to the side, making sure they're parallel to the ground. Good energy here. And that back foot, outside edge of the foot pressing into the ground. I want to feel this whole outside portion of the leg fire up so I feel pretty stable, especially as we now move into side angle. Reaching out over this left thigh, rotate the arms, left arm coming down, right arm reaching up into the air. And again, choose how high or low you'd like to be in the posture. You can certainly be lower, fingertips touching the ground or your stack of blocks, or up high like I am. My left hand is right against my inner thigh. Let's breathe in. Exhale, turning, bringing the hands back down to the ground, stepping back into plank pose, completing your series. Inhale, up dog, cobra, or right into downward facing dog, and this is where we'll meet. We're going back down to the ground. This time I'm going to exhale and hop forward, cross legs to take a seat. You can just kneel down, take a seat in the center of your mat, and go ahead and lie down once again. Okay, we're going to add on to our bridge pose. A couple of things here. First, just lie comfortably. Just let your body melt into the ground. And then we'll get ready to re-engage. And we do that with breath, of course. We'll inhale to fill up the lungs. Exhale, engaging the belly. Then press feet into the ground, lifting hips right up into the sky. Same thing. You can use your hands to help lift yourself up, or backs of your arms pressing down into the ground. Getting the shoulder blades to squeeze together underneath you. Really rooting downward, which allows this whole front side of the body to lift up. All right, we're going to add something here. As you inhale, fill up your body, good breath. As you exhale, engage the belly, and then extend your right leg up into the air. Nice extension, reaching up. Now the backs of your arms are helping this pose push down into the ground. Of course, the left foot's pressing into the ground, so we can extend this right leg into the air. Not too long. We're just going to bend the knee now. Place the foot back down onto the ground. Maybe readjust your back bend. You can always rest if you need to. Take a breath. Then when you're ready, same thing. Inhale, fill yourself up. Exhale, engage. Then extend left leg into the air, reaching. Now, it's okay if the leg isn't straight, and it's okay if it's not all the way up. It might be at an angle. The knee might be bent. That's okay. It's off the ground. That's all that counts. Reaching up as best as you can. Feel that right thigh. I can feel mine really activating. Even the upper body activating to help stay afloat. Let's bend the left knee now. Place the foot back down onto the ground. Wiggle the toes forward. Reach arms up into the air. Roll your way back down to the ground. Once again, let's draw knees to chest. Exhale, let's rock our way up, returning to boat pose. You can do that same thing to get set up here. Sit up nice and tall, right here. Heels on the ground, flexed feet. Once you're nice and tall, lean back. Keep that straight spine. Core connected. Stay like this, or keep leaning back until there's more weight behind you. Feet can float into the sky. Right about here. Now hold on. If your hands are free, that's fine, but go ahead and hold on to the backs of the legs for a moment. Look at your knees, and they'll be aligned right next to each other. Now we're going to extend the right leg. Extending. The knees are still aligned right here. We're just reaching. Lengthen, strong, straight line. Point through your toes. You can push through the balls of the foot or flexed foot pushing through the heel. Let's go ahead and bend that knee, matching the other, and extend the left leg. We're just hinging right at the knee joint. Same thing, reaching through the toes or the balls of the foot or pushing through the heel. Let's go ahead and match by bringing the other leg up. Just like this. Now you can still hold on, or if you like, exhaling and releasing, and you can always go back to holding on. Let's bend the knees, cross legs, hands in front, or to the side, and just swinging the legs back until you're in plank pose. Let's hold here for a moment. Press strongly into the ground. Be sure your hips are lifted here slightly, almost at shoulder level. Even feel like your hips, hamstrings, and calves are all lifting into the air. Now, a shortcut to down dog, bend your knees, lift your hips into the sky, adjust the hands and feet. All right, now, we're going to push both heels down towards the ground. They don't have to touch the ground, but feel the your calf muscle stretch. And then rise up onto tiptoes. You can put a bend in the knees, but lift up high in the tiptoes, heels lifted. Keep that height as you now inhale, extend right leg up, reach long. Exhale, let's bring right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel turns to the floor, shifting the weight back, rising again to Warrior One, and our exhale to Warrior Two. Right here, let's hold for a moment. We're going to take this to triangle pose. So you're going to extend the right leg, so straighten the leg here. And as it straightens, you want to feel like an energy rising up through the torso, like you're getting much taller. Now start reaching out over the right thigh. And as you're reaching forward with the right hand, your left hip will feel like it's moving to the left wall behind you. And then rotate the arms. Nice expansion, yes. Lengthening. Feel what's happening in the hamstring. Breathing. Oh, that nice extension work. All right, to come out of the pose, we're going to bend the right knee, a nice lunge. Come up. Let's reverse the warrior, taking the right hand up into the air for a little side body stretch. We're going to windmill, bring the hands down to the ground, and this time just step back into downward facing dog. Both feet on the ground, right here. Same thing, press both heels towards the floor. Feel what's happening in the calves. Rise up onto tiptoes. You can put a bend in the knees, but lift those heels really high if you can. Keep that height as you now inhale, extend left leg into the air, reaching back. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel to the floor, weight shifts back. Feel that sensation. Rising up, Warrior One, and our exhale to Warrior Two. Pausing here, and then setting up for a triangle. So we're straightening the left leg. Remember, as you straighten the leg, you want to feel like your torso is also getting longer and taller. That's going to give you a little bit more space in this left side as you now reach out over the left thigh. Remember, right hip is kind of pushing back in the other direction, and then rotate your arms. And again, my hand is up near my knee and thigh. You certainly can go much lower if that feels better for you today. Breathing. Deep breaths are going to get into all your muscles and bones and organs. Every part of the body here. To help all this nice cleansing, releasing, opening, expanding. One more breath in and out. And when we're ready to come out of the pose, let's bend the left knee, lunging so we have some leverage to come back up, passing through Warrior Two to reverse the warrior. So left hand reaching into the sky. Feel that lengthening to the left side of your body. Now we'll windmill. Bring the hands down to the floor and our step back right into downward facing dog. Hold for a moment just to arrive in the pose. When you're ready to move, breathe in deeply. Exhale, walk, step, or even hop both feet. Return to the top of your mat. Inhale, let's rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Weights in the heels, bend your knees, reverse your swan dive. Coming all the way back up, reaching high. Exhale, go ahead and bring your hands down by your side. Very nice. Good, just take a moment. You might want to shake things out a little bit. And then come back to mountain pose. Alrighty, let's get into a balancing posture. Okay, very typical tree pose. Now I'm going to mirror you. Whenever you're ready, we're going to shift the weight over into the right foot. Press strongly into the floor with your right foot. Feel the thigh muscle engage here. Then inhale to get nice and tall, a nice lifting and lengthening through the spine. Exhale, pull belly in. Remember, we want to engage. That's going to help with our balance. When you're ready, float your left foot up, flexing the foot as it rises so the leg stays strong. We're going to swing the knee out to the side. That's our hip opener. And then placing the foot on the inside of the standing leg here. I like to keep mine at my calf, but if you're able, maybe catch the shin or ankle and then bring this foot much higher and place it firmly against the inner thigh. I say firmly because you can actually press a little bit more strongly into the thigh muscle since it's a larger part of the body. You can always keep it lower. Then inhale, extend your arms into the air. Good reaching sensation. And again, wherever you are is perfect. Even if you need to use the ground with your toes to help stabilize. It's okay if you lose your balance or have to step out of the pose for a moment. And if you do step out, just come back to mountain pose for a second, take a breath, and then come back to tree pose. All right, we're going to continue some more balance work. Keep the arms reaching into the air. We'll swing that left knee forward. Lift your knee with the flexed foot. You're going to extend your leg forward like this. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this. So my leg is straight, but it's low, and it's okay if it's low. Just straight as can be. Pushing through the heel. And then reach a little higher up. And then we're going to slowly bring this foot back down to the ground, and then bring the arms back down by your side. Let's come back to this version of mountain pose with the arms by your side, palms facing forward. Take a breath. If you need to shake it out, that's okay too. Always nice to kind of take all that tension away. And then come back to mountain pose. All right, other side when you're ready. Start shifting the weight into your left foot now. Press into the ground. Press strongly, firmly. Feel the leg engage. Inhale, feel the lifting and lengthening of your spine, core engagement as you exhale. Then we'll float the right foot up. Flex the foot, strong leg. It's about 90 degrees right here. We'll swing in this open. It doesn't have to go all the way to the side. Even kind of an angle is perfect. Remember, toes can touch the ground if you need a little extra balance. Or maybe calf is just right for your balance today. Or placing foot on the inner thigh. A nice firm press into the thigh. And at the same time, actually, your thigh is pressing back into the foot. Remember, we're still moving towards center line. Just as you draw navel in towards spine. Then when you're ready, inhale, reach into the air. You've got it. Nice and tall. Reach and lift. We want to feel that nice lengthening sensation through the sides of the body. So we're lifting and even in the hips and not kind of settled or dropped to one side. Hold as best as you can. Perfectly fine if you need to. Step out, pause, and then return. Find your breath. Good. Keep the arms extended. We're going to swing the right knee forward. Lift your knee with the flexed foot. Then extend the leg. And again, it can be low. Down here is perfect. Just flex the foot and push. Like you're pushing down on the brakes in your car. Straight leg. Reach up a little higher. More lift and length through the sides of your body. Then slowly bring foot back down to the earth. Feel that balance and bring the arms down by your side. Spin the palms forward. Take a breath. And feel complete. Excellent. And shake that out if you'd like, especially in the shoulders. All right, now we're not done with our balance work. We're going to balance again. This time, let's use the strap. Okay, and whatever you're using as your strap. Okay? So I'm going to turn sideways. Let's go ahead and wrap the strap or place the strap underneath the left foot. Underneath the left foot. And then just hold on to the ends of the strap in your left hand. And just come back to mountain pose. So arms just down by your side, palms facing forward, you're looking forward. And as if we were going to tree pose, just follow me. We're shifting weight into the right foot. Root down, feel strong, look up or look forward really.
lifting through the spine, exhaling, and then lifting the left foot and just pulling on the strap like you're a marionette puppet. Right there. So thigh is parallel to the ground. At any time, you can always readjust your hand on your strap, which I'm going to do. Place your right hand on your hip and push it down, like you're trying to push your pelvis right down to the floor. At the same time, you feel taller. Exhale to lock that into place. Now we're extending the left leg. It can still be low. But if you're able, especially if you've got your hand a little bit lower on the strap, it's going to give you a little bit more control. And so you might be able to lift it a little higher. So maybe the leg is reaching towards parallel. So more balance work, but it's also some hamstring work. All right, follow me. We're just bending the knee. Still balancing. And now we'll set the foot back down. Good work. All right, walk that out if you need to, okay? Even stretch your toes and ankles. All right, so we're going to do the other side. I'm just going to turn around, but we're doing the other foot. Okay, so we're placing the strap underneath the right foot now, holding onto the strap in the right hand, standing tall in your mountain pose. Take a breath. Start shifting weight into your left foot. Root down strongly. Feel tall. Exhale to engage, and then your marionette puppet lift of the foot. That's it, nicely flexed. Activated. Place left hand on your hip, push down, and feel the torso lift up. Lock it with an exhale. Maybe adjusting hand on strap. And then extend the leg. And don't worry if it's not completely straight. If there's still a slight bend in the knee or your foot is down, that's okay, because you're still balancing. I'm going to take my hand a little lower on the strap, providing a little bit more control of the leg, because I want to hold it up a little higher like this. And only do this if you're able. Making sure your sternum is nicely lifted, proud, open heart, shoulders rolled back, left foot still rooting strongly into the ground. Still balancing. We're going to bend the right knee, hold. Then we'll set the foot down. Now we can relax. Excellent. Whew, great job. Alrighty, so we're done with the strap for now. Just go ahead and place it on the floor. Shake some things out here. Very good. Get a drink of water if you need to as well. Alrighty. Let's come back to mountain pose whenever you're ready, and let's flow some more. Let's add on. Inhale, sweep the arms into the air when you're ready. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, monkey pose. Go at your own pace. We might be picking up the pace a little bit, but go at your own pace. Exhale, bend your knees, hands to your mat. Step back, plank pose. Come down if you like. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Rise up high on tiptoes. Keep that height. As you inhale, take right leg up into the air. Right foot to the top of the mat. We're going to do a high lunge this time. So the heel behind you stays lifted. Shift the weight back a bit, just so you're balanced, so the hands can easily lift. And we're in our high lunge. Now, even though you're still on the ground with 2 feet, I still call this a balancing pose. I call it a balancing lunge, because that left heel, of course, is lifted. And you have to create more balance in the body. So to do that, to help stabilize the lower half of the body, maybe push that left heel back a bit. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other, pull belly in a little bit more, and reach up and squeeze in like you're holding on to something above you. Now keep lifting straight up until both legs are straight. Pivot, left heel to the floor, you turn sideways, bring arms down to parallel. Now we're set for triangle. Make sure the leg is straight in front. Reach out over this right leg. Rotate the body. Couple of breaths here. We're going to add on to this. Keep the leg straight in front, but you're going to lift a little so you can actually turn your torso facing forward and down, because you're going to fold to about halfway and extend your arms back behind you, reaching back. So there's balance. So as you're reaching back with your hands and even your hips, your crown or the top of your head is going forward. That should help you balance, creating that nice lengthened effect in the whole right leg. Bend this right knee.
lunging. Now, if you've got some blocks nearby, hopefully they're near the top of the mat, bring them out because you might want to use them here just to bring the floor closer to you. I'm going to rise up onto my tiptoes behind me. I'm going to kind of step forward a little bit with that back foot. So I can certainly feel that there's more weight up front. My hands are really heavy on the blocks. Enough where I'm shifting weight into the right foot so I can actually lift my left leg into the air like so. Move the blocks farther forward if you need to, or just at a place where you feel quite supported and balanced. Hold here for a moment. So more balance, more hamstring stretching. Let's bend this left knee. Bring the knee in towards your chest. Round it out like this. So knee is coming in towards chest or chin. Your chin coming down, tucking inward. Let the back round. Exhale here and feel the belly button pull up towards spine. And then go ahead and set the foot down next to the other. Find that evenness in the body. And then just fold. So just keep the blocks out there up front. And fold. All right, monkey pose. We're going to continue the flow here. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to the mat, step back, plank pose. Come on down here, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Rise up high on tiptoes. Keep that height, slight bend in the knees. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, high lunge on this side. Right heel stays lifted, shift the weight back so you're more centered. Hands are light. You can easily rise up to our balancing lunge position. Activate the legs. I like to push the right heel back. I call that an anchor. I just feel that calf muscle engage. Feel the inner thighs engaged by squeezing in towards each other like you're holding onto a block between them. Pull belly button in to engage belly. Reach up higher through the arms and hold on to an imaginary box above you. And we're going to inhale, lift until both legs are straight. Exhale, pivot right heel to the floor. Turning sideways, arms come to parallel. We're prepped for triangle. Let's go ahead and take triangle. Rotate, reach, and expand. Couple of breaths here. All right, let's keep the left leg straight as can be. You might lift your upper body just enough so you have some mobility in the pelvis and hips. So you actually turn your torso towards the floor out in front. Fold forward until you're halfway down like so. And extend the arms back behind you. Reach with your fingertips, crown leading you forward. Even feel like your hips are going back following your hands. Feel the lengthening in the hamstring. Perfectly fine to keep a little bend in that left knee if you need to. You can stay at parallel or maybe you can go a little lower. Or we're going to bend the left knee now. We're going to grab those blocks, bring those back in. Rise up onto your tiptoes behind you. So you're just kind of in this runner's lunge, but rather than having the hands on the floor, you've lifted yourself up so you're on the blocks. You can start stepping the blocks forward a little bit, step the right foot forward a little bit, enough where it's easier to shift the weight really forward into the left foot so the right leg can just float up into the air. Adjust your blocks as you need to for the balance. It's kind of like a warrior 3 position, except we're just using the blocks for a little support and balance. Make sure the right leg is really extending back. And there's kind of a lifting sensation. You're going to feel that in your glutes, your hamstring and calf, and your foot is activated. The left leg is straight as can be, but there is a slight bend in the knee. We don't need to lock that out. Now hold here as you bend the right knee, the leg that's in the air. Bend the right knee, bring it in towards your chest, chin towards your knee, rounding the spine like so. Feel the broadening of the back. Exhaling, pull belly button up towards spine. See if you can still balance here. Now we'll place the foot onto the ground, feel the balance, and then just fold. Go heavy here, that ragdoll feeling. Monkey pose, we're still flowing, lifting up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Let's go ahead and step back into plank pose. Come on down, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. All right, let's return to the ground. Let's do another stretch here. All right, we're going to take a seat, swing the legs around to the front. Now you can use a strap for this. Really, it's just an option for this next stretch, but it might come in handy if you want to use it. Okay, so you want to sit up tall at first, legs straight out front. Go ahead and flex the feet. Feel the heels move forward, toes lifting. It even feels like your toes are coming back towards you. Now we want to sit up tall, so place your hands on your mat next to you. Push into the ground to really sit up tall. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze shoulder blades together here. And even draw belly in. So very well activated. It's a very neutral type of position, but you're so well activated in the posture. Now we're going to take this into a fold eventually. Go ahead and relax. And rather than just folding forward, we're going to take the left knee, bend that leg, bring the left foot to the inner right thigh. Kind of like tree pose, okay? And if you need to slide the foot down lower, do that. Especially if your knee is a little sensitive and doesn't bend like this. It's okay then to slide the foot down a little bit lower. Maybe adjust your seat. And now, you're welcome to use the strap and wrap the strap around the bottom of the foot. And just as in that staff pose, you press the hands into the floor to help you sit up tall, you can do the same by holding onto the strap. A little tug on the strap will help you sit up like that. That's what we want. Now go ahead and inhale. Feel tall and lifted and light. Exhale, pull belly in. Another tug on the strap to send your heart forward, out towards toes, just a little bit at a time. Now I'm already beginning to feel that hamstring stretch. If you need to, you can place a bend in this right knee, folding a little bit more. And with that leg extension, we're certainly getting a hamstring stretch here. We're also getting a hip opener because this left leg is bent. This is called Janu Shirshasana. And Janu is your knee, Shirsha or Shirsha is your head, and so it's head to knee pose. But I like to think of this as sending your heart forward out towards your toes, rather than just kind of bending right here and trying to drop your head down to your knee. Really think of sending your heart forward. Now, again, this is optional to use the strap. You can even just set the strap down, set your hands on the shin, or if you can reach your toes, go ahead and reach your toes. Or even place your hands on the mat here, which will help kind of stabilize you, kind of hold you in place. Let's take a few more breaths, so we're still getting into that nice hamstring stretch. Three more breaths. After your third breath, maybe use your hands on the mat. So release the strap if you're holding on to it. Hands on the mat to help press and lift yourself up until you're seated nice and tall. Now we're going to bring this left knee straight up like this. Keep the knee bent. Lean back to bend the right knee. We're going to go back into boat pose. So we'll just settle into boat. Flex feet, hold on to the legs. Nice long spine. And then as you're able, extend both legs at the same time. Pushing through the heels or the balls of the feet or pointed toes. It's nice to keep active in the feet because that'll keep the legs strong. All right, relax the feet, bend the knees, set the feet back down onto the ground, and re-extend the legs. Right there, hands on the mat by your hips, push into the ground, nice lift, shoulders roll back. Couple of breaths, this is our staff pose. After your second breath, just relax and we'll get set up for the other side. So you're going to bend the right knee. And as it feels okay, bring that foot to the inner left thigh. If you want to, use the strap. Hopefully it's still down there. You can just loop it around the foot. As you inhale, remember, pull on the strap a little bit to help extend spine. Exhale, pull belly in. A little tug of the strap to send your heart forward. Take these in small increments. You don't have to go all the way down all at once. Take your time with this. Inhale in between. Find a little bit more space. Exhale, pull belly in. That's really just an engaging, supportive sensation. And then maybe folding a little bit more. Feel free to release the strap, okay? Holding on to the shin or reach out towards your toes or hands on the ground for a little bit more stability. Now, if you do go a little lower, now you might experience the back rounding, and that's perfectly fine. And your head might even drop down a little bit closer to the knee. That's also fine, because we set it up first to feel the extension, sending the heart forward, and then we start coming down. Let's take 3 more breaths. Releasing the strap if you're holding on to it, place your palms on the ground and just press into the ground to help lift yourself back up until you're fully extended in your spine. Hold there for a second. Stay there. Let's just get the strap out of the way. Let's go back to that boat pose. So bring the right knee up this time. Lean back to bring the left heel in, bending the knees. I'm just going to adjust my seat a little bit. Take the feet up, fully activated, strong, straight spine. Once you've got it, extend the legs. Reach and maybe challenge yourself. Release. Arms reaching up into the air. Let's breathe in. Exhale, we're going to cross legs now. Hands in front or to the side. Hop or just swing the feet back into plank pose. Strong straight line. Bend your knees, hips into the air, downward facing dog. All right, let's just bring knees to the floor here for a moment. Sit back briefly in hero. Alrighty, now we're going to get ready for a very big flow. I'm just going to guide you through it. I'm going to do it with you, of course, and just do your best. We won't be using the strap, but you will want your blocks perhaps, okay? And just have them up there up front and ready to go. Alrighty, are you all set? Let's go back to downward facing dog. Do your best, rest, pause, even stop to watch if you need to. Alrighty, here we go. So we're adding on some new segments here. First, let's rise up onto tiptoes. Bend in the knees, hips high. Inhale, extend right leg up into the air. Hold it there. Now, keep the leg in the air, but walk your hands towards your left foot until the heel is touching the ground. Fingertips are on the ground right here, so we're extending this right leg up into the air. So this is kind of a variation of standing splits. Nicely extended spine, as if you're like shooting down towards the ground. Right leg in the air. Now, we're going to add something else here. Bend the right knee, bend the left knee, the leg you're standing on. Bend that knee. Bring the right knee in towards your chest and chin, let the back round. We're shifting the weight back a little bit. I'm walking my hands back. We're finding the center of gravity. Center of gravity is actually your heel and ankle bone. Right there, because we want to get the hands off the floor. Right here, so we can balance on one foot. Press foot into the ground to start standing up, straightening the left leg. Catch hips with your hands. Look forward. Let's kick this right leg forward. Look at that. We came back to this pose we did a long time ago, and we did it with a strap. And if it's okay if that leg is low. Lifting as best as you can. We're going to take it in reverse. Bend the knee, right knee. Bend your left knee. We're going to fold. We're balancing on one foot. We're folding. Look at the floor so you know where you're going. Release the hips. Reach down so you can catch the ground with your fingertips. Once you've made ground there, re-extend the right leg. Reach back. Look forward and start walking the hands forward, returning to your down dog. Left heel is still high. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel to the ground behind you. Let's rise to a warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Good job. Side angle. Threw some surprises at you. Side angle, left arm reaching overhead. Reach and stretch. Inhale here. We're going to exhale, turn, bring the hands to the floor. Step back to down dog. Just sweep the right leg back and up behind you. Reach. Right foot returns to the top of the mat for a high lunge. High lunge. It's that balancing lunge position. Here we are. Now the knees are bent, but we're going to rise up, straightening the legs so you can reopen, prepped for triangle. So both legs are straight. Reach out over the right leg, tip it over. Now we're in triangle. All these great extensions and openings in the body. Lift a little, turn, facing the floor. Come down so we're parallel to the ground. Reach back. Okay, we've been here before, but we're adding on to this. Now we're bending the right knee. Bring the fingertips to the floor or bring your blocks in. Rise up onto your tiptoes behind you. We're shifting the weight forward. We've been here before, actually. So we're going back to that variation of Warrior 3. Right here. Nicely extended left leg now into the air. Reaching back. Long spine, crown, lead forward. Now bend the left knee. Bend your right knee. Bring your left knee in towards your chest with an exhale, rounding through the spine. Hold, lock it in place. Now we're shifting the weight back a little bit. So we're finding that center of gravity now on the right foot, which is near the ankle bone. So we want to be able to balance and be able to take the hands off the blocks. This will really fire up the right leg since we're standing on it. Push into the ground to stand up tall. It's okay if you lose your balance. Catch your hips with your hands again. Look forward. This time, just lift the left knee, flexed foot right here. We're going to tree pose. Swing the knee out to the side. Plug the foot into the inside of the standing leg. And if you like, let's go ahead and shoot the arms up into the air. Keep arms well extended. We'll swing that left knee forward. Lift knee, flexed foot, hold. Plant the foot into the ground. Stay here, arms extended. We're going to inhale. We're going to flow. Exhale, swan dive. Now, if your blocks are in the way, just move them out of the way for a moment. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, bend your knees, hands to your mat. Walker step back, plank pose. Come on down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We got to do this on the other side. Rise up high on tiptoes. Bend in the knees. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Keep it high, well lifted, and start walking your hands back to your right foot until the heel is on the ground, like you're just standing on the right foot. Fingertips on the ground to help you balance. Keep that leg lifting straight as can be, reaching back energetically. Long spine, even tipping forward a bit more if you're able. This is standing splits variation. There's other versions of this. All right, now bend your left knee. Bend your right knee more. Bring your left knee in towards your chest, back rounds. Shifting the weight back, find that center of gravity. So the hands are light. You can start to lift them off the ground. Push foot into the ground, standing up tall. Catch your hips. Look forward so you know where you're going. Nice and tall, roll shoulders back. Let's extend the left leg forward. I'm pushing pelvis down, standing up as tall as can be, shoulders rolled back to activate the upper back to feel more supported up top, and of course, core engagement. Take it in reverse. Bend the left knee. Bend your right knee. Tip forward. Look at the ground. Release your hips, free hands. Catch the ground with your fingertips. Re-extend the left leg. Just taking this in reverse, extending spine. Look out in front of you. Start walking your hands forward. Return to down dog. Left foot returns now to the top of the mat, grounded. Right heel to the floor behind you, grounded. Rising up, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Side angle, reach out, tip it over. Follow the right arm overhead so we can get that stretch through the right side of the body. Breathing in. And our exhale will turn, bring the hands to the floor. Back to down dog, sweep the left foot back and up into the air, reach. Left foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Shifting weight back, rising up, finding this balance. Then rise up, straightening the legs. Pivot right heel to the floor, turn sideways, prepped for triangle. Shift it forward. Rotate the arms. Here's triangle pose. Nice opening for the expanded, extended body. Turning the torso towards the floor, folding so you're parallel to the floor. Arms reach back, crown forward here. Bend the left knee. Catch those blocks out front. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. We're in that runner's lunge. Taking it forward. So you can lift that right leg up into the air. Reach. Extending. Long spine. Bend the right knee. Bend your left knee. Bring your right knee in towards your chest, rounding through spine. Lock it in place. Use your core engagement. Shifting the weight back more into the left foot. Find that center of gravity so you can release hands from the blocks. And then stand up. Catch hands on your hips. Nice and tall here. Roll shoulders back. Lifting the knee, thigh parallel to the ground. Knee is bent. Swing the knee out to the side, tree pose. You can place it on calf or grab hold of the shin or ankle and place the foot on the inner thigh as you'd like. And then we'll go ahead and inhale, extend the arms up into the air. Keep arms extended. Swing the right knee forward. Lift knee with the flexed foot, pause. Slowly plant the foot into the ground. Inhale, reach into the air, swan dive forward. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, hands to the mat, stepping back or hop back plank, come right down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just a brief pause. Go ahead and bring knees to the ground. Sit back briefly in hero. Sit off to the side. Swing legs around to the front. Find the center of your mat. Go ahead and roll down onto your back. Give yourself a well-deserved hug, drawing the knees into body. Maybe a little massage here. Wow. Impressive. That's a lot of work, a lot of movement. And so I think the name is fitting. Our balancing and hamstring flow. Let's finish with a quick twist, sending the knees off to the left, right arm to the right side. Or choose any other pose. You can do a twist here, or a hip opener, or a leg extension, even an inverted pose like shoulder stand, even another back bend like bridge. Anything you would like to do here to start finishing up the movements of our bodies. Finish the one side for your twist and take the other side if you're doing twists with me. And just take note of your breath for a moment, because you were probably slightly out of breath once we made it to the ground after that dynamic sequence. But even after just a few breaths, just notice that calming effect. And let's just continue that journey towards complete relaxation. Whenever you do feel complete, come back to center here. Extend the legs out front with your arms down by your side. We'll just spend a few more minutes here just to finish up, feel completely relaxed. We really used up all of the hour together, but I want to give you at least a few moments in Shavasana. And of course, you can always stay much longer in this pose. There is certainly no rush to move. Just stay where you are. And again, stay here as long as you need to. But when you do find it's time to move, whenever that is for you, start moving breath. Just notice your breathing. And just take slow, deep breaths. And just feel that movement of breath throughout your entire body as it brings motion back into your body. Maybe 2 more breaths like this. And as movement slowly returns, take your time and carefully roll onto either side of your body.
Just moving into a nurturing posture. Hold for a moment. And still moving in slow motion, just guide your way up to seated. If you're still lying down, that's perfectly fine. Once you have made it to seated, sitting up nice and tall and proud, go ahead and inhale, extend your arms out and up, reaching into the air. Then exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. While in stillness, just take one more breath in and out. And as we complete our practice together, we bow together saying, Namaste.